Hey guys, welcome back to the Cross Up podcast. One of your hosts, Chris, here with Alan
Hello,
and
hello.
X. Welcome back. Alan, do you want to take over?
Yeah, I can take over from here.
Actually, before you get in, do you know the origins of Agent X, Cheeto and Chris?
Dude, I
I
don't
do
even,
not
I was gonna
know.
say, I don't think you've ever told me where that comes from.
All right, so
And
the
I've been,
origins of Agent X. Okay, there's this movie back in like 2002, 2000, whatever, starring Antonio Banderas and Lucy Liu. And the name of the movie was Ballistic.
yeah, I
X
know
versus-
exactly what it is.
That movie was so trash,
It was awful.
but that name was so dope.
Oh my God. And you're just like, you know what, dude? That's fucking me.
So that's
I
pretty much
can't, that's also a movie from like the like mid to late 90s, isn't
it.
it?
Yeah,
Dude, I
yeah,
can't
exactly.
believe you fucking watched that movie and you're just like, dude, that's me.
So here's the thing. So I saw the name, right?
Yeah.
Didn't see the movie for like at least 20 years.
Right. It's like you must have seen it like when you started playing.
No, not at all. I only recently saw it like maybe like 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
Movie was trash. Okay,
Yeah,
don't
it's
look.
bad.
Yeah.
Don't waste
Go
your
ahead and
time.
watch it, but just be warned, it's not good.
3.7 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not good.
It's not good at all. But that's it. I got it from a movie. So
I mean, I
There
guess
you
since
go.
we're on
Cool.
that topic, Christian, do you wanna tell them where you got your name from, or is it just
Uh,
it sounded cool? Here I am.
It's like it's first I wanted Aries, but every like name place that I would go to, it was already taken. So I just went
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Son of Aries, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. And then like in some other ones, I have like SUN,
Mhm.
right, instead of SON, and that worked out great. But then like mind you, I had my name for a while, and
Right.
then I think like earlier this year, I started reading Red Rising.
Yeah.
It's it's like a sci-fi book series, super good, recommended all the time. But in that book series, and I had no idea prior to this, there is a faction and they go by the name Sons of Ares. And
Oh,
I
really?
had no idea. So like I've had people like message me like whenever I'm online or whatever, and they think like, oh, it's about this book. But like I read the book after I picked the name, all right?
Right.
I just want to make that clear. I picked the name first and then I read the book.
Gotcha. Okay. My name is actually probably a little more random. It's actually from my Final Fantasy character's name that I made like, God, how long have I been playing now? Like 6-7 years ago when I made my character.
Mhm.
It used to be Chitoge, and then this is the same last name, which is Lisa. But then I kept Fantasiaing because it was like an addiction, pretty much almost. Not like an actual one, but I was just doing it all the time because I was like, oh, I kind of want to try out a different character. That's Fantasia.
Mhm.
And then there's been a couple of times where I've tried going like a male character, and that
Mhm.
name doesn't exactly work out so well. So I'd have to be. So I took out the GE at the end and just became Cheeto because it's like that can kind of work for both characters, right? So it's like good enough.
Mhm.
And that's yeah. So then I just shortened it to Cheeto L instead of like the full fucking name, and then here we are. I liked it, and that's what most people online like. Since I like the majority of my friends that aren't like actual IRL friends all know me from either Final Fantasy or things of that nature, and they either call me by my name or they call me Cheeto. So it's just like that's what I went with. Oh.
That's definitely the case with like most people. Either I call them by their real name or I call them by their like gamer tag. It's
Yeah.
the same thing.
It's the same thing. I mean,
It's the same thing. Interchangeable.
you're called that enough that it's essentially your name anyways.
Yep.
And as you can see, or as you can probably see in the recording, if you're watching and not just listening, we have a muted stream from 2XKO when they were live at Evo, because we're about to be talking about 2XKO because me and X, Jeremy, we got access. Well, I got access and I gave it to him via the referral code because this dumbass didn't get it at Evo.
Well, yeah.
And
I have
So-
nothing else to more say about that. But yeah.
so we got access and we've been playing it now.
Mhm.
I've been having a lot of fun. Jeremy, on the other hand, can take it from here and give you a little bit about how he feels about the overall game and his impressions.
Where do we want to start?
You can start wherever you want, and I'm ready to argue you every step of the way.
Okay,
Oh
look,
my god.
look. All right, I'm not gonna completely trash the game. Okay, let me
Right.
disclaimer first. I understand that this is a alpha version of the game.
Right.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's
But
still
good
early.
God, this game is not ready to be released tomorrow.
No shit, but you know.
Now, by
I think-
any means, by any means of the imagination, I wouldn't play this game tomorrow if it was
No,
released in a
no.
while.
I mean, I probably would, but
So the presentation for so far for me is okay. Let me start with the UI. The UI in the game, like you're watching it right here, like it's pretty simple.
I really like the UI. It kind of just gives off very similar to how MVCIs and Marvel versus
Yeah,
maybe
that's
some of the
what
later
that's what I was
iterations
expecting too.
of Marvel
Yeah,
versus
exactly.
Capcom, which I'm okay
Yeah.
with because I've always liked how they look. I think it's super easy to read. You can see the characters' names on which player is which. And then when you're playing online, if you're playing like 2v2s, each you see the character's name. Like let's say Yasuo is me and Echo is Jeremy. It has our gamer tag like next to the character name, so you know exactly who's playing who. So I think it's very simple to read. The symbols, you probably like. I was obviously like as a first time person, you see the little yellow and gray symbols next to the health bars. That determines on like gameplay
What-
style of you
Yeah.
going in. Like you get to choose it after you choose your characters. It's like pulse, double down, freestyle, and a few different things that change how your assists work and things of that nature, right? So
Right.
they're pretty easy to read once you recognize which is which. But obviously, like as a newcomer, like let's say me and Christian are watching, like let's say there's a tournament for it, and then he's like, "What does that symbol mean?" Then I have to sit there and explain it. But otherwise, if like I said, if you've played the game and you're sitting there looking at everything, it's pretty easy to read.
Right. So the in-game UI looks pretty good. My problem right now is like when you before you get into the game, like the menus. The menu seems kind of weird to me for some reason. I don't understand why. Like if you're going like in practice mode, there's some things are kind of not intuitive of how to find certain things. For some reason, I don't know why.
They're a little weird for sure.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know if it's just me just trying to like being impatient, but like I'll mash RB to like get the training or whatever, and I feel like the UI or the menu like lags or it doesn't respond to quick inputs really well. So I don't know if that. I'm assuming that's just like an alpha thing, and that kind of stuff will get ironed out. But I did notice that, and I was kind of like annoying me, right? Like I was like, I'm just trying to get to training as fast as possible. Let me get there.
Yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about we'll get to this point later, but I want to just touch on this real quick. I don't know how I feel about inputting the code to get into a private lobby all
Instead
the
of
time.
like from your friends list and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'm assuming
from your
this was
friends
I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt because obviously the people running this game, we know who they are and they come from the FGC. So I'm gonna assume this was just a like not a last minute thing, but this is probably something they planned since the final game isn't like done or those maybe that functionality hasn't been completely integrated
fleshed
yet.
out, yeah.
That this is
Yeah.
just like a band-aid, right? Like it's like we want people to be able to play together. Just do this for now, and maybe like this is also right. Like I don't know if that was the only way to play together because I'm be honest, I didn't try to go through the friends list when you like would make the lobby. So for all we know, you could do that.
Where was the friends list? I didn't see that.
It's you hit select and it pops up on the right side of the screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I just didn't try it because me and you aren't friends through Riot. So I just used the
okay.
code. So that's why I
Gotcha.
did enjoy the code because there's plenty of times like in Tekken, we have Tekken IDs. Don't get me started on Tekken IDs. I can't stand how that functionality works because I have to go through online replays, search by Tekken ID, go to their profile, and then you can add them. It's so stupid. And then you have to wait for them to accept it. And guess what? If they're already in a lobby, they can't accept the friends list.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I hope
And you have to
adds that feature.
And then what's worse about that is you can't invite someone to your lobby unless y'all are friends. And not just anyone in the lobby, it has to be the host. Only the host in Tekken lobbies can invite people. And when we're running that big ass Discord where I play Tekken with them, we're not all friends with each other.
Right. You need multiple people who can invite.
Right.
Sure.
And
There's like a
so
chain invitation.
yeah, it's just like it's so annoying. So like we've actually started defaulting to using the Tekken Lounge. Now I don't know if this is Bamco's master plan to force you to go into the Tekken Lounge, or maybe you spend money on the avatars. I don't know. That's the conspiracy theory. But I prefer this lobby code system because, like, me and Jeremy, like I said, we're not friends on Riot because we're just too lazy to add each other. But we had the code so we can join each other. So it's just like it's convenience, right? So I don't know. I'm
It's
fine
more
with it.
convenient for PC than console.
Well, that's for sure. Yeah, if you're on console, it's a little different. Like for me, I just copy paste from Discord. We're good to go.
Right. I have to like actually type in the code and send it to you.
I'm guessing console is just like a party invite, right?
I'm assuming if you're playing against other console people or trying to play with
Yeah.
other console people, it will be.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it wouldn't be.
No, but for overall, I think the UI might change a bit.
Oh, 100%. I don't believe this will be final.
No,
they'll probably clean it up a little bit, maybe change some of the styling, and then like the main menu will for sure change.
Yeah. Before I go into controls, I want to go touch on the graphics. The graphics in the game looks really good.
Oh, I love how the game looks. I mean, I'm also again a big fan of like the anime style, right? And that's kind of more where they're leaning towards. It's a versus game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my
yeah.
So go ahead, Chris.
I was just gonna say it's I like the stylized version of it.
Yeah.
I was telling we talked about this before, but it's like one of the major advantages to games like this that have such a unique design is that like Alan said, if I'm watching this and like as a completely new person, I can instantly tell like, okay, that character is different from this character, and so obviously like this character belongs to that person or whatever. Like, I can tell different the people apart. Where like there are some fighting games where it's like, oh, it's just this giant ball of muscles versus the other giant ball of muscles.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's really hard to tell.
Yeah. My only complaint right now for the graphics and just characters in general is Echo.
Oh yeah, I was ready for this. I was ready for
How
this.
in the hell you go from Echo and Lee looking like a someone who looks just dope with the hairstyle into this Killmonger ass? I hate this Killmonger hairstyle. I hate it.
So
I hate it so much.
For those that don't know what Echo's original hairstyle looks, if you pull up his splash art of his base skin in League of Legends, he has his like worn down outfit from Zon. He has a white X painted on his face, and then he has like a blonde mohawk. It's like white.
How they go from a mohawk to Killmonger, I have no idea. It's just like Miles in Spider-Man 2. How they go from a fade to Killmonger, bro, that's not the only hairstyle we have.
I think that's so funny. And like, don't get me wrong, like for me, right, I never really cared about that kind of stuff unless it's just blatantly disgusting hairstyle design or like character design.
Mm-hmm.
So it's never bothered me, but like I can see why it bothers other people, right? But it's also just
Eddie
like
Gordo.
Eddie is another one, right?
Just let him keep the long dreads.
I don't know why.
He doesn't need the kind longer.
Bro, I'll be honest. I don't know why they changed Eddie's hairstyle. Like you see it in his Tekken 7 either. Where he has the dreads and the ponytail. Fucking looks sick.
What was wrong with that? Don't give me some Paul. Hey,
it wasn't hip enough, man.
It wasn't. It's not what the kids want.
Yeah.
That hairstyle was good for one character, and then they was like, "All right, let's put this in every game."
Yep.
Let's not stop. That's my hair rant of the day.
Fair enough.
All right, controls. The controls seem a bit awkward at times.
How so?
Yeah.
So when we were playing, at the top it has like the forward and back tag to do like an assist.
That's a little weird.
I wish that wasn't like that.
I get why they do it, right? But like again, we're playing on different controllers, right? You're on a stick versus me being leverless. So me going from blocking to quickly going forward, hitting the button and immediately blocking again is pretty simple for me. Yeah. Whereas for you have to physically move your wrist, and it's all that garbage.
I wish that the tag button, if you like tap the tag button, I wish that was the assist itself. But no, I have to do back or forward and tag. And sometimes if you're like mid combo, that could mess up.
It kind of fucks you up a little.
Yeah.
But I think it's also
Uh,
like you just get used to it, right? Like for me, it wasn't too bad. Like by the end of the second session we were playing, I was starting to do it a little bit more. But
mhm.
but again, I'm still. So to preface this, at least I don't know about Jeremy, but me myself, I didn't. I didn't watch any videos. I didn't watch any combo videos, tutorials, other people playing. Since this was the alpha, I wanted to learn the game myself. I wanted to try shit myself because it's a versus game. It's pretty free flowing.
Yeah.
Things combo into each other. You can figure it out as long as you've had some experience. And so I didn't know what you could what you could use in like where in the combo you could use an assist to then combo further. So that was me learning it, and like I said, by the end of the second session of me and X playing, it wasn't too bad, and I was starting to kind of figure it out. So,
Right.
I
I didn't
think
watch
it's
any
just
videos
weird.
either. Yeah, sorry. I didn't watch any videos either until after the fact. Like I saw like promotion videos, obviously,
Right, right.
and like all the other stuff, but like I didn't watch any like combo videos until after we played the first time.
But at least control wise, I mean, again, I think this is also like maybe like the fighting game backgrounds we have, because you're very
Mhm.
much a 3D fighter, and that's what you excel at, and that's what you prefer, right?
Right.
Whereas, at least for me, I mean, a lot of my experience outside of like Tekken and Soul Calibur, like growing up, was mostly like versus fighters and anime fighters. So I think to me, the system felt pretty good. I felt like even the movement system around has been great. Like you saw by the end of the second session, it felt a lot more fluid. It felt a lot more intuitive. And
Yeah.
adding in just no motion inputs, which I think was, in my opinion, still a lot of depth to the game
Yeah.
combo wise, but it also is like, I think it was, in my opinion, a genius move. They do realize that 2XAO with a fighting game with League is going to be kind of a big deal, and it's going to have a lot of exposure just because they're going to promote it. Riot's going to promote it in their other games, and so maybe a lot more people are willing to try it. And I can tell you right now, there's already going to be a bigger percentage of people that have never played a fighting game that are willing to try it because there's no motion inputs. All the
Right.
specials are just one direction, either right, down, or back, and then a button.
It's definitely kind of feels like Marvel vs. Capcom 3
Mm-hmm.
to like just like a slightly lesser degree, like slightly more simple.
Yeah, it's
Sure.
super simple, but still has like you've seen. I'm sure if you've seen any gameplay for like the higher ups, because I watched a little bit last night finally, since the
Mhm.
alpha ends tomorrow, right? So I wanted to see what other people were doing, and that's
Yeah.
when I found out Ari is disgustingly oppressive and has extremely long as fuck combos.
Yeah.
And I found out a little bit, but it was like just the tip of the iceberg of what Ari could do. And so I was like, that's when I was like, yeah, there's a lot you could like that I haven't even touched in this game yet after like 4 or 5 days of playing it.
Mhm.
So, and I'm by no means like a top player or anything like that. So of course I'm gonna miss a bunch, but I was
Yeah,
having a
no, I
blast.
definitely feel the same about Echo. Like I've been playing Echo and Yasu a lot. I don't think their synergy is that good, but I think Echo is dope as hell.
Echo's sick. Echo with his
Echo is
rewind
really
ability,
good.
there's a lot of cool sauce you can do with him. I'm a big fan of
How similar is he to League? Sorry.
in League, you have so his Q ability is the projectile you throw. You throw it out,
Okay.
it hits things and slows them, and then
Mhm.
it comes back and hits them again. So that
Oh, okay.
like so you know how you have that, I think it's the level 1 that you throw out and it comes back. That's essentially his Q,
Yeah.
and it
Oh,
slows
okay.
in game. His W, he throws out a like a circle AOE that doesn't do damage, but when
Yeah.
Echo goes into it, it gives him a shield, and if an enemy champion's in it, it stuns them. So you know how sometimes if I get hit by the projectile, they're like in slow motion. It's essentially the
Yeah.
same thing.
Is he a
And
mid
then
laner?
he's a mid laner. Yeah,
Okay.
and they use him. I don't know. I haven't played in a while, so don't fucking go after me. He was played a lot in
Mhm.
jungle when I was still playing. So he was a
Interesting.
jungler mid laner. I played him
Yeah.
mostly mid. I have a lot of echo time. And then he has obviously his R, which is his rewind. It puts him back like 3 seconds.
Yeah, that rewind in this game is really good. I like
Yeah,
it.
it's a lot of fun. I'm a really big fan of fucking. Surprisingly, like obviously I'm picking Ari. For those that don't know, I'm very much a waifu player. It doesn't matter how bad they are, I'll make it work. And League is no exception. So obviously that's why I'm playing Ari. And but the one that I ended up picking up, I tried on a whim because, like I said, the first time I played against X, it was the first time I'd pick up the game. So I was like, let's try Braum. Braum Braum is fucking sick, dude. He's so much
Braum
fun.
is so broken in this game.
Now, I don't know how strong Braum is supposed to be or is actually in terms of the other characters, but his down, I don't know what the actual command in the game is, but his down B or his down circle if you're on PS5.
Is that the ice floor?
It's that one, but it's when he does a little flip and hits you with the shield and then it gets ice on the shield and all of his moves get empowered from that. Bro, the combos you can do out of the ice shield is fucking sick. And then you go into his level 1 that does like the uppercut. Fucking sick.
Chris, if you could see my face playing this dude yesterday or was it Friday?
Dude, it was funny because he already has to deal with Ari, right? And like even with the little bit that I figured out, she's mega oppressive. She has a ranged attack that goes like 2/3 of the screen, which if it hits, guess what? That's a confirmed combo in full launch.
That's the delay launcher too, right?
Yeah. And so like I get full combo off of it. And then he's like, he finally gets rid of Ari. And he was like, all right, step 1 down. But then Braum comes out.
And that's it. Where's the holes in this dude? Even for Ari.
Dude, like I said, I'm having a blast, but I love these games. Because the thing about these games, it's bullshit left, right, and center, bro. I'm dealing with some bullshit, but the bullshit that he's putting out, he's not even commenting on because he knows it's bullshit. So like,
you talk about the Echo Rewind?
Echo Rewind is not the bullshit. The immediately quick projectile from every angle pisses me off, but that's like any projectile, right? Like that's not really that big of a deal. Then you have fucking Yasuo's full screen fucking. But go ahead, Chris.
Oh yeah, it's a tornado. It's like a tornado wall. You can that blocks projectiles, but if you hit it with a special, it like goes full screen. I'll take it.
All right, just real quick for anybody who hasn't played that, what is the Echo Rewind? Is it exactly what it sounds like? Like you go back a couple moves?
Yeah. So you input a command, and he does this little like chainsaw almost thing. Like he pulls his little pack. I forget what it's called. And you see like a little projection of him that you leave after you do a certain move. And so what's really popular, and obviously that X was doing, is he would do an overhead move and then he'd have his projection up there and then would try to mix me and hit me with a low. Then you rewinds back above me and then does the overhead again to try to mix people up. And so as the person blocking, you have to then immediately stand block. And basically what that does is it just moves him back like half a second to add in mix into your combos, like to open people up.
Yeah. I definitely think he's like a intermediate to expert level character.
Yeah.
Right now, in my opinion. We're quickly on the controls things though. I kind of find it hard to do throws and like the throws and the dash. It's fine. I wish they would like kind of swap it. So there's a dedicated button for dash.
Yeah.
But if you do the light and medium, that's also dash.
Oh, is it?
But if you do medium and heavy, that's throw.
That's throw, yeah.
I wish that was kind of reversed.
Oh, to have like a dedicated throw button and then just have the input for dash?
No. Have the input for throws, but have the input for throws for light and medium, and then input for dash.
Oh, medium heavy. Oh, you want those mixed over. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. But keep the dash button as is.
Yeah, keep the dash. Okay. I guess I could see that. I mean, I'm always I'm on leverless, so call it what you will.
It just seems.
I was just gonna say, as far as dashing, I didn't even touch that button, like the dash button. I would just input the double dash because it's super quick on I just double tap.
Gotcha.
So like I didn't even think about that.
Those 3 ways to dash.
Yeah, you still just input like a normal dash.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because it's like Guilty Gear, right? Because they have a dedicated dash button also, but you can just double tap. Like that's how I learned.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I could see like in combos, right? Especially like Ari, she has, when I do the ranged attack and then she does that like flip and she does like the continuation, you can interrupt it by dashing or jumping, one of the two. And I guess like doing it as a button in that situation makes it a lot easier, right? I was still double tapping because that's just what I do. But I could see the dedicated dash button being very helpful. I need to mess with it a little more.
Gotcha. So you like this game being 6 buttons?
I do. I don't play a lot of 6-button games. I mean,
what are they usually?
It's usually, I mean, it's any mixture. Like, I mean, Tekken's only 4.
Yeah.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4 for each limbs, and it's a variation of that. You can use the extra buttons for different things, and you can input like 2-button whatever. Street Fighter is 6. Guilty Gear is technically 6. They have slash, heavy slash, punch kick. They have the dash. They have the dust. So technically that one's a 6-button. I've always considered it more of a 5, but same shit. It's 6 buttons. I'm basically counting this game as a 5 because the 6th button is a dash.
Gotcha.
So I like it. I've always I really like I said, I enjoy Guilty Gear a lot, so I'm kind of getting the same vibe from this. It's like it's like basically taking the system that is Guilty Gear and then putting Street Fighter's light, medium, heavy on the top row.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I said, once I learned what each button did, it was super intuitive. Like I said, if you have any experience playing most fighting games or any fighting game really, you pick it up pretty quickly. And I haven't played a Marvel vs. Capcom in a little while, so I don't know how it felt in comparison.
So how close are these characters to like the lead counterparts for the most part, besides Echo?
I mean, they take things from their kits, right? But they like change it up. So like Yasuo, for example, right? His Q is just like the stab with his sword, and he does that twice, and then he gets a passive for his third Q, which launches the tornado, and it launches and stuff like that. So they took the elements of him stabbing, which is like you put up wind wall, which is his W, which blocks projectiles. And so if you Q through it in the game, like in League, it doesn't do anything, right? You just Q through it, you can still poke them, do damage. In this game, they took his Q, which is a special, which is that stab. And if you stab through the wind walls, it's what does the full screen hit. So they took like elements from each of their things and just made them into like more fleshed out, I guess, is the way I would describe it. Because his dash, his E button in League, he dashes through minions and enemies. And so what they added in this game is he has something similar where he does that like quick dash across and it does a hit, and he does it in the air too. So I think for the most part, they're very accurate and still true to the original character, but they're like fleshing it out more. Like Ari, her Q, it's where she throws that orb. You know how like her level 1 that I did at the wall, that just like not the dash, but like the ball that she throws.
And that comes back, right?
Yeah, and it comes back. That's her Q. Her W is those 3 little orbs around her when she's like, that's what she can use her specials off of. That's just a W thing. You activate it, it gives her a little bit of movement speed, and then those 3 orbs just attack the 3 nearest enemies. Gotcha. And then her E is the level 2, or the level 3 in this case, that does the charm, and then you attack them in the game. And her R is just dashing around. So they took all of those elements and just, again, fleshed them out a little bit more and gave her a little bit more in the game. So it's just like, that's kind of what it is for all the characters. They have all their moves. Braum?
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't remember his, like, I know what he does. He hits his shield and launches like a little ball of like ice at you in the game.
He has like the ground ice in League 2.
He had his ultimate, he slams down and it opens up a crater of like ice on the ground, and it does damage and slows in the game. So he does have elements. Like I said, all the characters are basically, they have all their things from League. And he even has his shield in this game. When I did back assist, he would put up the shield to block shit. He does that in the game. So yeah, they're all pretty accurate as far as like their in-game translations. Even Alawi's level 2 or level 1, where she does the tentacle slam, that's her R in League.
Cool. Oh wow.
Yeah,
that's cool. Okay.
I just think they were a little bit more creative with the abilities. That's it.
I'll get back into League.
Just real quick, X, did you play with like a controller or a keyboard when you were playing against them?
My arcade stick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So Chilo has a leverless. I use the actual like arcade stick.
This is what I use.
Oh yeah.
I use the Razer Kitsune. Fucking 4 buttons for movement, 8 buttons to play. That's kind of like what I've been playing for the last like 8 months now. So it's just what I'm used to.
Yeah, I was just curious to see like maybe if it's too many buttons for somebody that is using like a
controller.
It's a controller or a keyboard.
No, because I would say maybe a keyboard's probably easier because keyboard's going to play similar to the leverless. It functions the exact same. So keyboard definitely won't be an issue if you play it on keyboard. And for controller, I mean, like I said, the guy who won Evo Street Fighter 6, because we know how we said Street Fighter is a 6-button game. Punk.
He plays with controller.
Punk plays with a PS5 controller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Sonic Fox, who plays Mortal Kombat, Skullgirls, and all these other games, and is obviously a multi-Evo winning champ, also just plays
Mhm.
on controller. And like I
Yep.
said, this game functions more like a 5-button control. So you have the 4 face buttons, and that covers most of the controls in this game. You just use the right bumper and the right trigger to cover the rest.
Cool. Sound design. Sound design in this game is great.
It's really good.
The only thing I will not bash the game about.
It's really good. It sounds great. I mean, I didn't notice anything that was like out of the ordinary or that'd be like, oh, that doesn't sound right.
Actually, one thing. This game is so loud if you don't turn down the sliders.
I mean, I think that's most games though, right? Like I think
most games.
Most games I open are fucking blasting
What
my
games
eardrums.
are you opening?
Call of
Yeah.
Duty, fucking
Okay,
Battlefield.
That game is very loud.
Battlefield, Final
those
Fantasy.
games.
You know what my Final Fantasy I consider kind of loud, and you know what the volume's at?
What?
8.
Like
In-game.
overall volume?
Master
In-game.
volume in game 8
Out of 100.
out of 100.
Wow.
Games are loud as
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah,
Maybe I haven't noticed- maybe I
Apex
haven't
Legends,
noticed that.
whenever there's like a new DLC or a new update or whatever, I will literally just turn off my headset because that thing will burst my eardrums.
Have
It
you
is
not-
so loud.
Like, have you not? One of my favorite clips is fucking. I know he's like overreacting, obviously, because that's what he does. But you know, Tim the Tap Man, he like opened
Mhm.
up, I think, like X Defiant for the first time, and he's like sitting there, and the first like, you know how they have like the announcements of like the studio, the
Yeah.
engine they're using, so it's like boom, the first one, and he's like, oh my
Mhm.
god, and then the second one hits, and he keeps getting farther and farther back, and then the last one like is not, to be fair, the third one was massively louder than the other two. He just fucking falls back. So I mean, that's exactly what it feels like when you open up a new game, bro.
Bro, like
Yeah,
we
I
played
feel
that game, first game. I was like, oh my god, I can't
was-
hear you. I can hear myself.
I can't hear anything, dude.
But other than that, the game sounds great to me.
Yeah, the
I
game
really
sounded
have
fun.
no notes, really.
I mean, I will say, again, it'd be alpha. The music was not memorable. I don't even remember any of the stage music.
Yeah, that's right. I don't remember any music either.
For all I know, there was no music there because me and X were actually talking constantly because he was constantly complaining, and I'm sitting there laughing at him. He's like, bro, where does this end? And he goes, oh my god, Braum is such bullshit. He goes, why does that hit me? And then I hit him with the down B. When Braum has a shield, he throws ice that hits the ground. He goes, why is that a low? And the best part about that move, it hits low, and then it launches him towards me, so it's free combo.
Bro, what is this character? I don't even know what to say about it, dude. I just took the L and next game.
And next game, just took it, dude.
Damn.
Oh my god. We kind of touched on gameplay a little bit, right?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Mhm, mhm.
All right.
I guess
there-
any final touches on gameplay? Do you any other nitpicks other than maybe balancing? Because obviously it's still early.
No. I mean, I'm also giving them the benefit of the doubt because it's just an alpha,
Right.
and I know it's not going to be like that on release. So when they have another like beta or alpha or whatever, I'll definitely give it another shot.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna flat out say I'm not gonna play it. But when they come out with a different beta, I will definitely give it a shot. Hopefully they improved a lot of things.
I hope we got to try out some of the other characters they've shown off, or maybe some they haven't shown off. You know.
Yeah.
Because I know there's still like Jinx is still a character they announced that they haven't shown off, and I'm sure they've shown off a couple other ones. I haven't looked to see what they've all shown off. It's been a while since I've actually gone down that, like looking at all their other videos and stuff. Because I know they've been making announcements over the last like 2 years or something.
Mhm.
And like I said, I'm not like trying to make them hurry or anything, because obviously making a game from the ground up takes time, especially trying to make a good one.
Mhm.
But I'm like
I did not realize. Sorry,
yeah,
I
go
did
ahead.
not realize they were using Unreal Engine for this game.
Oh yeah.
Did they use
Which
Unreal
one?
Engine for League
No.
or Valorant?
For Valorant, I actually don't know for Valorant, but for League they did not. I don't know if the updated one uses Unreal. I actually, because they
me see.
updated the engine and whatnot, but
Let me look it up.
I guess we can figure it out. But I mean, I think the game feels great. I know a lot of the complaints have been like combos are too long. They do so much damage. I was like, I'm sitting here like
I agree with the damage.
Bro, I'm over here.
that's
I'm over here
ridiculous.
sitting. I'm over here like it's a fucking versus game, bro.
And
I'm
I get
expecting
it.
if
But
I'm
damn,
playing a good
Khan is over here pushing my shit in.
I'm over here queuing up, assuming if the guy is better than me and he gets a combo, like a clean, clean combo starter, I'm losing more than half my HP and I'm ready to fucking get him on the clap back.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I guess it could be different expectations and what they're willing. Like, I don't know. I think the game plays fine.
How good is the button smashing on this?
Oh, you can fucking mash. You
Right,
can mash X
I
and
mean,
you get a full combo.
exactly,
There you
dude.
go.
And
I'm
then this
free.
game also is just like, it's like, again, because it's a versus game, if you just mash the buttons that do hits, you could probably do a really flashy combo and it probably looks like you know what you're doing. And as long as no one sees you pressing the buttons, they're like, damn, dude, that was clean. You just got those. Because like realistically, right? Like this,
laugh for like hours.
right? Because realistically, like most combos, like with these types of games, you just do light, medium, heavy launcher, and then do light, medium, heavy back to the ground. That's a combo, and you do like an okay amount of damage. It's a versus game, but like as long as you do that kind of basic, just like most games like this, and you start adding in like jump cancels and like in this case, Ari's her what is the button that is X. X is to do the ranged attack extender. Like you can just extend that combo and basically start over, and then you add in assists, blah blah blah. It gets more complex. Execution gets a little weirder, but it's pretty simple.
I did look it up. Valorant is using Unreal Engine.
Oh, there you go.
Cool.
So, Unreal Engine is, if you don't know, a game engine made by Epic.
Yes.
It is free to use. I encourage you, if you are interested in game dev, use that.
They have
Use
a
that
bunch
over
of
other
free
shit.
assets as well too. They have
Say
a
again,
bunch of
Chris?
free. They have a bunch of free assets too that you
Oh,
can
of
use.
course.
So like you don't just start from the ground up. Like they have a lot of stuff that's also free.
And there's a I was actually surprised how much they just let you have.
Like those Paragon assets, that's
all there.
just free.
Oh yeah, yeah,
All there.
literally.
They're just all
The
there.
whole thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And at least from my
But-
understanding, when someone said, like, obviously you can still make your own assets through Blender and stuff, and I heard integrating it over is not that bad.
Right. It's not.
And now, mind you, again, it is also because they are literally printing money, like
Right.
just
Yeah.
bonkers amount of money.
On top of Fortnite and
Yeah,
Unreal and Rocket League now and
Yeah,
all their
Rocket
other
League.
IPs. So,
They're just kind of living it.
yep.
okay. Speaking of characters, I got on here characters that I want to see on the roster.
Let's hear it.
Most of these characters are just ones I played in League.
Okay.
So the first one is Ash.
I saw that, and my first question was, motherfucker, how are you implementing that into the game? I want to hear it.
Hey man, this is zoner character, man.
Zoner character, only
character.
projectiles, do a couple kicks here and there, hit her with a bow.
MVC3.
I guess Morgan kind of does work like that, don't she? Yeah, I
And-
mean, she
and
could be a
it's-
zoner. You can add that in
Yeah, I mean, for me, Ash was my first champion I ever played with in the League.
there. Mine was, I think.
Ironically, she was the first one.
I think mine was
And that-
Lux.
Which one is Lux?
Lux is the stupid blonde girl with the stick.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Next for me is Keenan. I just put this on here because I like him, but he won't work in this game.
I can't. That fucking tiny little. I don't want to see any Yordles in this game. I'm sorry.
It wouldn't work because of the Yoda thing.
The-
Actually, no. It might work because a Rocket Raccoon was the smallest character in MVC3.
how was the hitbox though?
You can still do full combos on him.
Oh, really? Okay. I mean, I guess if they do, like, they extend the hitbox upward to be like normal size, then it's fine.
Yeah, if they make him grow like a few inches, maybe.
Yeah.
Wukong because Wukong.
Wukong, sure.
Why not?
Fair, yeah.
And then I don't know how you say this name. Zerath.
Oh, Zareth.
Zereth.
Another
thought Zareth.
fucking zoner, motherfucker. Again, how do you fucking? I guess having another zoner. There you go.
Look, man, I like my zoners. Ironically,
I don't.
from all the characters I play in fighting games, I like zoners too.
Surprisingly, I don't. Well, the thing is, right? Like, I don't mind them. It's like they're annoying to play against, and I think the closest thing that I've ever like played is Zoner, quote unquote wise, is like Testament and Guilty Gear, and I don't even know if he qualifies.
Gotcha.
I don't play the game enough to know that kind of stuff.
You know the best genre video game in the fighting games?
Who?
Superman Injustice.
That's why that game's trash. I fucking
Hey,
hate
man.
Injustice.
What? Injustice is good. What are you
Injustice,
talking
man.
about?
Bro, have you seen the fucking trash they're doing in that game competitively because it was broken and did damage?
Absolutely not. Absolutely
Okay, that's why. That's my issue with the game.
Just killing everyone, dude.
The shit that I've seen people do in that game with like interactables and shit because they were broken. I hate that game. I think interactables are horrible in fighting games like that.
Yeah, just tap it. Just maybe.
It's just all right. Is that the last one?
That was the last one.
I mean, I think mine are pretty kind of again more on the waifu side, but also like I think would work out well in this game that I want to see. And again, they're mostly characters that I played a shit ton of. Like Akali is kind of like an obvious one. Like, how is she not going to be in this game? She's a ninja, hot as hell, super cool. That's about all I can say. She's going to be in this game. She's also going to sell skins. Come on, easy money, Riot. Please make it happen. The next one is also kind of maybe a little bit of a weird one. I want Evelyn in this game because she's my favorite champion in the game. But she's also melee, has tentacles. I think she could have some fucking sick ass combos depending on how they use her moves in the game and how they would link together. Because she has her normal, obviously, like she's still a normal quote unquote person, right? So she has her normal scratches, punches, kicks, and then she has 2 tentacles that you can do things for extensions and whatnot. I believe I have Kaisa on there. Kaisa is an AD carry, but she's more short range and has kind of other things that you could maybe do. Like she could be like a melee kind of rush down character, maybe. I don't know. In my head, I had an idea of what it could look like. I don't know in functionality how that would actually, how that would actually function and how that would work.
Right.
Who's the other one? Did I put another one down? Oh, I mean, okay. This one's a given, and I don't know how they haven't announced it yet. Well, how is Set not in this game already? So
which one's that one?
So Set is, you know what? I'm gonna show you, because this guy, like this man right here, you're telling me this guy right here is not gonna be in League? He runs an underground pit fighting ring in the lore of League, and he literally
pretty on brand to me.
And in game, he just goes around beating the fuck out of people. Yeah. I'll just click on this video, random video, guide, 3-minute League of Legends. That's the name of the video.
Nice.
We'll see his abilities. Yeah, like that's literally his auto attack. His Q just empowers those Qs. His E is pulls people together, and his fucking R ability. Let me see. Does he show his R? Yeah, watch this. Look at his R. That's his E right there. He pulls them together and stuns them. That's his R ability. You're telling me this guy's not in the game already? Come on.
They out here doing suplexes in League.
Yeah, dude. And that shit does mad damage. And
that's crazy.
And like I said, he's a bruiser. Fucking builds basically health armor and shit. Like, how is Set as the guy who goes around literally with fucking brass knuckles punching people not in this game already?
Now, I will say, if they do put Wukong in this game, then I will 100% play the game on release.
Yeah. I could see that. I mean, I don't like Wukong personally, but I'm not against him being in this game, obviously. More characters, more fun. Also, more characters, more bullshit.
Exactly.
Motherfucker's gonna spin on
how
you.
How many characters do you think they'll advertise? Like, there's like over 100 champions, but how many realistic characters?
130 something champions or something like that.
All 130 can't be in 2XKO.
No.
But how many do you think wouldn't make it? Like maybe 50?
I think not final roster. I'm saying final roster, quote unquote, like release. So I think release roster will be like 2025.
2025?
25, yeah.
I think actually that might be much. I think it might be a little much. Maybe 15. I think 15 could be a good starting roster, depending on who those 15 are. Because they only let us play 6. We know there's more in the works, and I'm sure they don't want to like ruin who they're working on behind the scenes.
Of course.
So I'm gonna say 15, at most 20, because their release date is early 2025.
Is it?
Yes, that's what they said.
2025. Wow.
Right, just to let you know, it is August 18th, 2024 as of this recording.
Yep.
So this won't be out until
You also could realize like this version of the game that we got is just an old version that they just allowed us to play.
that's
That's
also
true.
true.
So
Early
like
2025 seems real early to me.
now, like let's say, right, you know, to play devil's advocate here, let's say that this version of 2XKO is currently the version this is working on. There's no way this shit comes out early 2025. There's still so much
No.
that they need to work on.
But right, there's too much.
Again, since they did say it was an alpha with them having a release date of early 2025, like I said, I'm pretty sure that's what they said. I'll double check here in a bit. I'm pretty sure we're just playing an old version of the game that they just allowed us to play. That way we could get a taste of it and get some fun out of it.
Man, early 2025 though, bro. I would say maybe late
if they're
2025.
if they're going off of like Q1, Q2 stuff,
Mhm.
Q1 I think ends in March.
Yeah, it's March.
Yeah,
Right.
March.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what? How many months away?
It's
8 months.
Like 8
7
months. That's
7 8
a lot
months.
of
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
It is
it's
a
like
lot of time, but man,
And I
that's
mean, it's
rough.
not like they're not like an indie development either, right? They have all the employees they could ever want.
I mean,
Right.
sure, I get it, but in this current state, that's rough,
You
dude.
think it's that rough?
I think it's that rough. I don't
Wow.
know. They only show 6 characters. There's 8 months left.
Like I said,
but
dude, I don't think
like
this
you said,
is.
maybe that's just like the last stable build that they had. They could have like a bunch of other ones that they're working on that are like 6 months ahead of whatever you guys
But
played.
they're gonna show more at Gamescom or the Video Game Awards or
When does the
Gamescom
anime
starts
come out?
in November for Arcane season
November?
3.
I don't like doubt that they'll show something around that time too, because that's a huge
Well, yeah,
draw.
because I
Super
know
popular.
we have, like I said, we have Arcane in November. We
Mhm.
have Gamescom starting this Tuesday, but we also
Mhm.
have the Video Game Awards in December. So like they'll
Yeah.
make an announcement eventually, and we'll probably
Right.
get a release date, if not around Video Game Awards, probably like shortly after.
Yeah.
Like I think it's fine. I think we're just playing an old version, and that's what it is.
Oh,
Especially
I
if
have
they're
no doubt
giving
playing the
us,
old version, but man,
like I said, especially if they're coming at us with an early 2025, like worst case scenario, it comes out June, July. Like I think that's fine.
okay.
So we will see.
All right. Well, Chris,
Yes.
I know you haven't played the game, but is there any champions that you would like to see?
Like that aren't already on there.
Yeah.
Honestly, man, I played League for like a week.
Yep.
But I really like the big flashy moves. So anything that has just a take over the screen effect, I
Mhm.
want.
Fair
So
enough.
any one of those characters, I would be down for.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Because it at least when it does that, it makes me feel like I'm doing something.
True.
Fair. Cool. Netcode. I think the netcode was fine
I
for the
mean,
most part.
most of my play was with people that I like know. It was never online random lobbies or anything like that. And I didn't have any lag or issues. So for the most part, it's been impeccable.
Did you
But
play with the
again,
guys from the channel?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So like I said, it's most of my games have been with X or random people that I know have like stable connections themselves. So as far as that's concerned, I mean, it's been impeccable, no real crazy latency or anything like that. So,
Yeah, I haven't noticed anything crazy.
and most of the people that I've played with are obviously like all United States and stuff. So I don't, like I said, I don't know how it's gonna function once you go online to play like ranked or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have much to add to Netcode. Netcode, I'm sure it's gonna improve for sure over time. Like I haven't seen anything, you haven't seen anything, but I'm sure people out there that are complaining about Netcode for sure.
I'm sure.
Those people are on wireless and should get a wired connection.
That's a whole other topic.
Everyone playing on McDonald's Wi-Fi always has something to say.
Exactly. You can get that McFlurry, but please get a wired connection,
Right,
please.
for real.
Bro.
And give me a cup.
Say, huh?
The cups, the McDonald's cups.
Exactly. Yeah. Improvements. I think I already touched on them. Improvements, really. The game is so impressive. Like, I get it's a versus game, but goddamn, dude.
It's extremely oppressive when you're getting caught in the corner and you're just trying to fucking get an opening or wait for them to fuck up. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Ari should be toned down. Braun should be tuned down. Cheeto should be tuned down.
Jesus, dude.
We should buff Echo.
Buff Echo.
Yasu.
Okay, dude. Yeah, that definitely needs to happen for sure.
I did play a
fucking
little
wild.
bit of what's his name?
Darius. Darius is also
Darius is actually pretty dope.
he's crazy.
Yeah. He might be a little oppressive too in the right hands.
Yeah, I mean he definitely would be.
But you know, with this being an alpha, there's gonna be obviously improvements on their end. So, and I think they touched on some of the improvements that they're working on in the video. I don't remember off the top of my head what most of those were, but they were talking about like how long the combos were, like how much damage are they as the characters doing. They're definitely looking at that stuff now, and I have no doubt they're gonna fix and address most, if not all of it.
Right.
So if they're pushing for early 2025, man, good luck to them.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
World's biggest doubter.
I know, dude.
Hey,
Motherfucker. You should have heard him on after Friday's play session. He's like, bro, I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking write an entire fucking dissertation on how much this game's fucking trash and how much I hate this game. I was like, dude, all right, I can't wait to hear it.
This game is just not ready
Of course
for
not.
public release.
Oh, that's why
This
we're
is
gonna
why I
wait and
doubt
see.
it's early 2025.
And you're just assuming this is where the game's at right now, and I don't think so. I don't think it's anywhere near this current state.
Oh no, I'm sure they're like bills ahead.
Yeah.
But if you told me this game was coming out tomorrow with this, no, absolutely not.
Of course not.
Not for me.
I don't think anyone's saying that, but I think it'll be fine by the time we get to like March, April.
I hope so. So I wrote this on here, but I think it would be cool if they made characters for this game that they moved over to League.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like original characters?
Yeah, so he was saying like basically adding in 2XKO exclusive characters as like a gauge or a tester to see if they should add them into League.
Yeah.
Which in theory is really cool. Because imagine we show up to 2XKO and we get like a completely unique character, and it's obviously like a fighting game character, right?
Yeah.
It's like a character designed from the ground up to be a fighting game character, and then they get transferred over, and then you get to see how the League team would translate that type of character over to the game, which would be sick. And I wish they would, but I don't know how much leeway the Riot team will give them to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but
because
I think
right,
cool.
because I like obviously like balancing, like obviously they're taking in like League champions and turning them into fighting game characters and balancing it like that,
Right.
but they're still balancing a fighting game character. Like imagine any of these characters taking their kit over to League and trying to balance that. I think would be more of a nightmare than the other way around. Because you can get a little more. Because obviously like in a fighting game, right? It's just their kit and how they function in this game, right? So they can get a little more wild, especially in a versus game. Whereas like you're trying to take a kit, balance numbers, and how items affect those numbers with levels is where it's going to be like a little harder. But again, I don't know, since I don't have any experience in doing anything like that. That's just me going on my assumption and knowing how quote unquote each game works at like a really basic level.
Yeah, I think it would be a nice challenge for them though.
I think it'd be sick. Like I said, I'd be down. I'd be so like hyped seeing that kind of stuff. And like I said, I'm going to be playing 2XKO like pretty regularly when the game comes out. If as like I don't care if balancing gets moved around, it gets crazier or like a little more like safer. If the game at least at a fundamental level feels the same way that it does now, I'm gonna be playing for a long time. The game feels great. I had so much fun. At no point was I really ever getting upset or angry, even when I was getting locked down in the corner. It's just like, damn, I fucked up, made a wrong call. It is what it is, right? It's a fighting game.
So what about this? Might be like less likely. Will they add a Valorant character to 2XKO?
I want Neon or Jet. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know how that would work though.
Yeah, I
But
don't know
what do you
how it
think?
works.
Why do you think it's less likely? Like, I feel like it's
I don't think it's
Because
less
it could be
likely. I think
done.
I think it's weird.
Yeah,
Well,
I say less likely, and yeah, weird because because Valorant is a it's a FPS as core.
yeah, but I
you're
mean,
gonna give them guns.
well, yeah,
No,
but no, not definitely guidance. But I mean, like, you could definitely get the designs in there, right?
no,
And
you
it's
can
like,
get the
I think,
designs in there, and like the reason I think it's weird, and like it's not necessarily harder by any means to do, but then you start taking the character and not having them be like quote unquote accurate, so to speak, right? Because their abilities in the game and in the world, right,
More utility based, right?
are more utility based, movement based,
Right.
no real offensive, and like they have blinds and stuff or stuns, right? It's not like it's impossible. It can 100% be done. I'm sure some characters would be fucking sick if they get transferred over like that. I just don't know what you would do, because then you would just have these characters that realistically, other than their kind of crazy little abilities or teleports or things of that nature, or even like a blind, like
Mhm.
let's take Omen for example, right? Omen can teleport. His ultimate teleports him anywhere on the map, and then he has a blind, and like that's about it. Like, what do you and some smokes? Like, you then have a guy that has a teleport, and then that's it, because you can't use
Right.
blinds and stun. What you can maybe do
well,
like you can maybe do like a blind. It's just weird how that would function in the fighting game.
I
Yeah.
think it's definitely more likely than like brand new characters.
Mhm.
Because if you're talking about like, okay, well, let's create some brand new characters for the fighting game, they would essentially have to do the same thing, right? Like, you got to work out a toolkit that they have, and then you have to do all this design work to make sure that it fits in the same style and all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you already have a basis for it, like, okay, because the Valorant designs look dope, right? Like, a
Yeah,
lot of their
of
skins
course
are
they do.
are, are super dope. So like, I see it being as like they start off with that as a base, and then like, fine, what are their like ultimate, like, what are they known for? And it's
Mhm.
like, oh, okay, well, they can blind people, or they can do whatever flashes, or they do that little shadow ball thing. All right, well, like, how do we translate that into a fighting game? I feel like that's a lot easier. That's more of a middle ground than a brand new character
Well, yeah, it's
that they
for
would
sure
have to
a
start
middle
off on.
ground. I just think what I'm like the way that I was going about it, or at least quote unquote the vision, right,
Hmm.
is I think that the final product would be farther away from the original character. That it's not as that you just essentially have this character that looks like Omen, Neon, or Jet, and it's just like not even this.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
gotcha,
I'm not
gotcha,
saying that
gotcha.
it's not possible, because you're right. It's a lot easier to just take that character, bring it over, and then just make it function in this game, right? But because a
Yeah,
lot of those abilities, even like their ultimates, are not everyone, right? Because some people do have ultimates that are more offensive based, like Jet or Neon, and you can definitely transfer that over in a fighting game. But a lot of the
Right.
other characters are more utility, just to teleport, smoke, or like Viper, for an example. She like puts an entire area in her poison and weakens them. You can do stuff like that. Like, you can basically use it, like, quote unquote, empower her and weaken her enemies for a short window. So there's ways to do that. But I think with the other abilities and stuff, they might, and this could just be maybe me not thinking of something right now in the moment. I would think they'd be farther away from their original design philosophy or design in general, that it's not even
Mhm.
like the same recognizable character other than what they look like.
That's fair. I get that. Well, cool. Uh, any other overall thoughts on the game, Cheeto?
No, I mean, like I said, I'm having a blast.
Chris? I know you haven't played it,
no.
but any
I mean, it looks really interesting. I think I like it. When it comes out, I'll definitely check it out. As I'm not a huge fan of like playing alphas and getting your hopes up, and then it turns out it's terrible.
Right.
Yeah.
First Descendant.
You're not enjoying First Ascendant.
He
No, I
didn't
had
like it.
such high hope. I had such high hopes, and then because I didn't get to play the alpha, right? But I saw a lot of people that really liked it, and so I was like, all right, cool. And then the beta came out, and I managed to get into it, and I think Alan and I played for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it was empty. I did not like any of it. And then I was like, all right, well, it is a beta. Let's just wait it out, see how it goes. I still have hopes for it. When the game came out and like they leaned or like not leaned into it, but like basically came out and like, hey, this is how we're monetizing it. I was like, oh yeah, no, this is not for me. Their
Damn.
whole like, because like one of the big draws to those games is like, hey, you can customize your character, you can make it look however you want, but there's all these skins and like all these things you can do and like all these weapons and armor sets and stuff like that. Like, oh, but everything, every single thing is locked behind money. And yeah, if you don't want to pay money, cool. I hope you have 100 hours because you're gonna fucking need it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
Cool.
It's just it's gross.
That's all right. For me, I'll give the game a shot for sure when it comes out. You know, this is just the alpha, obviously.
Mhm.
I think early 2025 is early for this game. But hey, if they can do it in that time frame, more power to them. One more thing, I still hate the name 2XKO.
I don't. Is there anyone that likes it?
I don't think so. If there is someone, please let me know.
I'm not
2XKO sounds cool. With 2XK0, no.
No, I mean,
No.
definitely not. I'm
It
like I said,
definitely is
I'm not a
Oh,
fan
good.
of it, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Sick.
All right, what's next? Since I don't have it in front of me.
Oh, you want to talk about the Maximillian thing?
Oh yeah, I guess if anyone doesn't know, if Maximillian dude is a YouTuber, one of the biggest in the fighting game community. If you don't know who he is, please go watch him. Makes great content. Essentially an ambassador for fighting games and trying to get more people into them and understand why we like him so much.
Dude, I remember watching his Marvel series with Doctor Doom and Wesker.
Oh dude, yeah, that's just fucking great. That's an old one.
Yeah.
But he's been working on a project, and if you guys want to hear more about it, just go to his channel. It's literally like a 2-hour video. He started up a project with one other guy named, I believe his name was Rin. He's the guy who created the editor for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and they're doing a mod called Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Beyond. They're doing a complete overhaul of the game. They're changing the art style, the menus, the character portraits, even the character select. They're even changing music to make it more exciting and more. I believe the words he said is he wants the art style and the colors to look more like Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and X-Men versus Street Fighter. And he's a really big fan of those. And he goes really in depth showing off the characters on what it looks like. And he even has like a version of the base Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite to show you how different it really looks. And like I said, please go watch the video if you're even a little bit interested. Because I think the game Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite does play really well. The system that they used and the way it feels great. I don't exactly love how it looks, and I don't love the characters in it, like all of them. But at least from the Marvel side, the Capcom side is usually pretty good. But
Right.
yeah, it goes really in depth. He has I think he said he started off with Max and Rin, but now it's like I think he said he's got like 20 plus developers working on this mod. So
That's
it's like
a
a
lot.
really big project. And like I said, they've changed character themes, music, even stages. There's a Marvel versus Capcom Legacy stage where on the screen it shows off the different versus games and stuff like that. Like he showed it off in the video. And the reason I'm bringing it up is so we can talk about our next topic, but also just to shine a light on a really cool project of people that are doing because of games that we love, but they didn't turn out how we wanted, or they just needed some improvements. So the next topic being, how do you guys feel about mods in games, and do you think they should be allowed in video games? Do you think they should be like more regulated if they are going to be allowed, or just outright no?
Okay, I'm just gonna say this off the bat. I think mods are great, but I think what they get into this weird zone of like they put so much time into it, like with your the guy you just shouted out.
Mhm.
I think that's awesome, and obviously it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But what I hate to see is when that happens and then they start charging money for it.
Yep.
You get into this really gray area of like now you're taking money away from the developers of the
Yep.
game, and I don't know, like I'm not a lawyer, but I don't know the legalities to all that, but that's when the modding community kind of like rubs me the wrong way, because it's like you're doing this and everybody really appreciates it, and obviously you should be paid for your hard work, but nobody hired you to do this. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
let me,
Yeah.
before I give my opinion on that, because I also have something to say. Max has already gone on record, and he does it in that video. He's not charging anyone because he also believes that
Yeah.
things like that should be free, as they should be, especially for games like fighting games, right? So awesome, dude. Does great work.
Yeah.
Love the man. But I 100% agree with you, and it happens so often because they see it like, oh, I'm taking time out of my schedule or my day where I could be doing other things, and I'm not being compensated for it. You have to then realize no one asked you to do this. No one
Exactly.
hired you to do this. If you're doing this for monetary compensation, you're not in the right space, career space, whatever you want to call it. The way I see mods, and I hate to sound like that kind of dude, but it should be considered like something that you want to do for yourself and as a hobby, and that, or you just maybe, it's like a passion project, and you should be willing to give it up for free. Now, I'm not saying if you put up like a, not like a Patreon or something, but like somewhere, if someone wants to donate for your hard work, 100%. Go for it.
Yeah.
You know, if you feel like maybe someone, or if someone's reached out and say, hey, can I just throw you like $5 because, you know, you did such a great job and I think you deserve something. There's been plenty of cases where that's happened, and go for it, right? But if you're outright paywalling a mod, even if like one of the biggest issues I have is fucking Final Fantasy 14. Motherfuckers on Final Fantasy 14 are doing visual mods on the character, clothing, makeup. I don't give a fuck what you do. I don't care how much work it took you. It's a passion project. It doesn't affect the game. Quit fucking paywalling. It's so cringe.
Yeah.
Now you get to my point where me personally, I am against mods.
Yes.
Now, if I've said this before, like if like game developers, you know, studios are different from studio to studio. I get it, but for the reasons that you all said, it's reasons why I say no to mods. For like really the most part, like even like I think the most egregious is just 14. It's just and the way they do their stuff. Like
it's the worst for sure.
Face mods, man, bro.
Meanwhile, you have motherfuckers out here on Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 3, Fallout 4, recreating entire maps, entire quest lines, and that shit's free.
Right. So I think because Bethesda encourages mods.
Yes.
And I get that. On the other side, there was someone, I guess a group of people who was making a mod for MW2 multiplayer.
In
MW remaster.
Yep.
The day before it was about to release, they got a cease and desist from Activision.
Right.
Now, on one hand, I get it. You know, you own the IP. You have the right to do a cease and desist.
Right.
On the other hand, that's pretty shitty you do on the day of release.
Yeah.
On day before release.
And it's not like they were hiding it. Like they said they were working on it for a while.
Right.
And you're just waiting before it's going to release to that kind of shit also rubs me the wrong way. But
that kind of pisses me off when they do that type of shit.
Because my stance on mods and things of that nature is if their quality of life, they're not affecting anyone else other than you, like in Final Fantasy, for instance.
Correct.
I have no problem you using them. I don't have a problem with UI stuff. And when it comes to like single player games, especially mod whatever you want, it's up to you. Go fucking wild.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm a huge fan of single player game mods. Like right now I have Hogwarts Legacy. That one came out a while ago, and I have Nexus mods on there that do a crap ton of stuff, like better lighting. They changed the AI interactions. They changed the quest system, like just little stuff that like makes the game run smoother, makes it a more enjoyable experience. I'm all for that. And again, all of those 100% free, all passion projects of people who just want to enjoy the game more, and I can 100% get on board with that because it's a single player game.
So I definitely want to do like a full episode of mods again for sure. That's not on the show that we did, Cheeto.
Yeah.
So I'm sure if you're in the YouTube comments, comment about mods, because we're definitely gonna do a topic about that at some point in the future.
Yeah. And like even with like Max's mod as an example, it's kind of changing how the game looks and everything's handcrafted and things of that nature. But even he said that if you're playing against someone else who's using the mod, then the online, then the game will, and then the mod will function as intended, right? Like you can continue playing, it's still gonna function as if you were playing someone like widescreen or like locally, right? But he
Mhm.
said when you then go up against someone online that doesn't happen, it just fucking ceases, like it doesn't function, like it just stops working.
Mhm.
Which I think, while it kind of sucks because then you end up crashing and stuff like that, I think it's better that it does that way. That way you're not against like playing someone who isn't running the same game as you, essentially. Like I think when
Yeah.
you start running into games like that are more gameplay style mods, I have no problem if you play online as long as you're playing against other people who are using the same things.
Yeah.
Uh, but again,
I would say, sorry, I would
yeah, go
say
ahead.
like maybe have like a separate pool of people
Hmm.
to play mods, but then that becomes a question of how much would that cost?
Yeah,
Yeah, and like the developer didn't ask for this,
yeah.
Yeah.
So why would they
Why
have
would
to
they?
support it, or would they feel obligated to support this?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of again gray areas there with
You
stuff
know,
like that,
because the whole point of a company is to make money.
right?
Yeah.
Even on a game they no
There, there,
longer support.
there was wasn't there like a huge push for an integrated mod system with the Xbox, and I think it was Fallout 76. Did that ever take off? Because I
They
remember them talking about like, oh, we're gonna pay, the community members who are like heavy modders. We're gonna pay them for a curated selection of mods and stuff like that. I don't even remember if that ever went anywhere.
I know that Fallout, like Fallout 4 as an example, had the integrated Xbox like mod stuff where even on the main menu it had a mod manager and it showed you like community stuff that got added in.
Mhm.
But I don't know like if they ended up getting compensated for that kind of stuff or if that program you're talking about even took off.
Yeah,
I
I'm
feel
not
like I
sure. I'm
would
not
have
sure.
I feel like I would have heard something about it, but I could have just missed it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
off the top of
it's
my
a while
head,
ago.
I
Yeah,
I do not know if anything ever happened with that.
that's a shame.
So we'll just probably just cut it off there as far as especially if you want to do a full
Yeah,
episode of it. I just
yeah, we
wanted to
can
get like
definitely do that full episode on that. Yeah.
just wanted a
Yeah.
quick impression since that happened recently. Like I think Max uploaded that video like a few days ago. So I just
Gotcha.
wanted to bring it up because it's also like a crazy project in general that people are doing.
Mhm.
And like a lot of mods are usually like small groups of people, whereas this one is like a pretty in-depth, like actual almost full development of like some games even.
Mhm.
So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that for a bit.
Cool.
Is that everything that we have on the sheet? I actually don't know.
It actually is.
All right, so I guess we
Nice.
can just say our final remarks, our final goodbyes. Oh yeah, what have you been enjoying this week, Jeremy?
Much of the same, really. The 2XKO, been playing that, obviously. Still reading my Mistborn book. I'm on chapter 4 right now.
Nice, nice.
Um, that's pretty much it, really, on my end.
Nice.
Gotcha. Okay, what about you, Chris?
I am on book 4 of 10.
Okay.
I'm committed to this. uh, so far so good. I like it. I have been trying out a new series. Here, let me see what it's called. It was recommended by a friend. It's like I guess mystery is the best way to say it.
Mm-hmm.
It's called From, From.
Okay.
I think it's on HBO Max, and it's like this mystery sci-fi thing, or like honestly, I don't know. It's like a little bit of horror too, because there's a town of people, and you don't really know what's going on. It starts out with a family getting lost, and they just kind of like end there.
Okay.
It has very eerie vibes. I like it though.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That's not bad. I think what have I been enjoying this week? 2XKO, obviously. In the Discord I'm in, we're starting to do things like other events other than just like Friday night Tekken, where
Mhm.
we're doing like team battles and round robin tournaments and stuff like that. So we've been doing a bunch of trial runs of the team battles to try to see kind of what works and how to deal with like ties or like bad connection. And so yesterday we had another trial run. That was a lot of fun.
Mhm.
Which is always kind of good because we get also like a variety of different characters and also various ranks. Like I think the lowest rank we have in there is, at least that was participating, was like Mighty Ruler, and then we were going up as high as like Tekken King, Tekken Emperor. So it's a lot of fun. Get a lot of variety of skill, different types of character, get to experience other characters that we probably wouldn't otherwise. Oh no, the lowest rank was Garyu. I forgot about that guy. Okay, there you go. But other than that, I mean, just same shit. Fate Go. Fate Grand Order is what takes my life in between all the other video games and anime and shit that I watch.
Yeah. I do want to add that we saw Aliens Romulus yesterday, and I recommend watching that movie if you have the chance.
I really want to. Yeah,
it is good.
Still need to see that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we'll go ahead and end it there. Thanks for listening, guys. Again, we hope to see you guys next week.
And you know, real quick, and if you have thoughts about 2XKO and the mods, let's see them down in the comments below.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, you definitely check some of that stuff out.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Cool.
See ya.
Peace.